Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie. If you are new here, I do all kinds of lifestyle videos, vlogs, motherhood content, but I also share our monthly budget with you guys, which is something that you love to see. I'm going to do my budget recap right now and tell you what happened in May, why we went so over budget, and all of that jazz. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. Ivy is on her nap and I'm fairly certain that she's awake, so let's see if we can do this quickly. This is my budget for May, so I'm just going to take you through what we spent, why we're over budget in certain areas, all that kind of stuff. So as per usual, I block out our exact income, although you can see a good amount of it here. Let's see, I brought in a little bit more than I was anticipating for income this year, or this month. That's just because I didn't budget for an extra block that I did. We brought in some, so this isn't really money. I pulled over $522.75 to pay my colposcopy bill from our savings, which we treat as kind of an emergency fund. So a good chunk of that is just money from savings. It wasn't like additional income technically. And then I got a little bit of interest, and I also get a bonus for starting a credit card with Ally, which is the bank that I use. I love Ally, by the way. I got like a $200 signing bonus if I like spent, I don't know, $500 at grocery stores and gas stations in like 6 months, which I can spend that in like 2 months easily. So that wasn't a problem, but I just got the $200 from that, so that's great. So we ended up bringing in $11,561.52 in May, which is amazing. So grateful for that. Again, I would say it more like 10,800-ish if you don't count savings. Moving on to our fixed expenses, I won't go through all of these specifically because they're the same pretty much every single month. Some of these aren't exact because I don't know, I never know what apps I have to pay for Ben, things like that, my Pilates. Ben actually went out of this group, so that's why we didn't have to pay it this month, and I don't have it in future budgets. And then yeah, our phone bill is gonna go up just a little bit. And then my business expenses, if you're new here, I have a freelance business. I don't currently keep my finances separate. I keep all of my expenses and stuff in here because I'm able to write some money off at the end of the year. So all of these are pretty much the same. I think I just have Spotify in here wrong. I think it's always $16.99. I also have just like a note here to myself so that I know that I can write off my Epidemic Sound payment, but I didn't take it out of the budget. I took it out of my business savings account. So it's not in here, but I just want to remember come tax time that I need to write off $119 for Epidemic Sound. And then miscellaneous, I did go over budget a little bit, and that's just because coffee shops are expensive and I get expensive coffees. So we spent $3,260.89 in fixed expenses. Moving on to our debt, this is always the same. We're currently not paying off debt. We're focusing on building our savings account. We spent $989.35 on mostly all of this is student loans, and then we do have a car loan. We only have one car, so that is helpful. Then moving on to the area that is a little dangerous. So groceries, we went over by $200. I believe I upped our budget in June. I can link that video if you're interested in seeing what I'm projecting for June. But we did spend $1,213.33 on groceries this month. And then Costco, we were a little bit over budget as well at $331. Went a little bit over budget on restaurants and takeout. Technically, we went more over budget, but I want to say thank you to one of you guys because I think I told you in one of my previous videos that Uber Eats wouldn't refund me for the food that I got that sent me to the hospital, and I had like a bone taken out of my throat, and they like wouldn't refund me for the food that I literally couldn't eat, and the little bit that I did eat sent me to the hospital. So one of you told me to like, you could like go on your credit card or wherever and like, what is that called? Like question it or what, feud it? What? I can't think of the word right now. But I have PayPal, so I did that and I explained to them like why I was asking for that, and that PayPal told me they couldn't because it was over 48 hours, which I just think is stupid because I was in the hospital for 24 hours. They did give me that money back. So I did get $82 back because it was a very expensive Uber Eats night. So that's why I was so annoyed that we didn't eat like any of the food. But yeah, so we did technically spend closer to like over $300 in food last month. So we're like slowly but surely getting better at trying not to spend as much there. Medications and supplements, we went way over budget. Oh, we made a couple of supplement orders because Ben has been going to the doctor too, so we've just been changing up our supplements. So definitely not something that we want to spend on the regular, but we needed to this month. Household, we were under budget, but that's because I didn't buy a zoo pass like I have over here. But so yeah, we were under budget by about $181. And then we were under budget in beauty because all we got was Ben's haircut, which was fine. Under budget by a lot in personal spending because I was anticipating buying clothing with our personal budget this month, but we ended up not really doing that. I think I got a little bit from Target, so technically the household budget could be like $50 less and it could be in our personal spending, but it's whatever. But we actually ended up getting stuff from Old Navy at the end of April, so it didn't hit in our May budget, which is why April looked a little funky, and now we're in May. Well, technically we're in June now, but for this budget, there are a couple of things I would like to get from like Lululemon or something like that. I'm just like not worried about that right now. I'm not gonna like continue to have a really high budget moving forward. Doctors, we went very over budget. $1,277.38 over budget. Now part of that is a colposcopy bill that I was not anticipating, which was like $500 and some dollars. I did get one hospital bill, just like a small bill, or 2 hospital bills. I have a bunch more that I'm waiting for. Hopefully not a bunch more, but a couple more at least. The biggest things were I got a mold test done because I had some testing come back that said that my mold toxicity in my body was high, so we wanted to do a little bit more specific of a test to see like what that means. And then I also got a GI map done, which is a stool test to test how your gut's doing and if there's anything that we need to change, like what's going on in there. So those were both fairly expensive tests that weren't covered by insurance. And then Ben for some reason got a bill for blood work that he had done. We're really not sure why he got billed for that. He actually still owes like $100 on that, but I need him to like call LabCorp and our insurance and figure that out because he really shouldn't have to pay for the lab work that he got done. But anyway, so we were very over budget on this. And you can see over here all this stuff. We had like doctor appointment at Whole Health, couple of therapy things, all the tests I told you about, acupuncture, anesthesia bill, pelvic floor is like $40 a time. Definitely very over budget on doctors. And then utilities, we were under budget, which is great. Car, we were under budget by a little bit, but we have been spending more because we've been driving a little bit more than we were. Core and Fin, we were under budget. We got like a $10 off savings for their food. Miscellaneous, we were over budget. So again, I was planning on hiring a house cleaner, and then honestly, I don't know if it's just because it got nice out so I can like leave the house more than I could. I just like don't care as much about house cleaner. Ask me in a couple months and maybe I'll change my mind, but we decided not to do that. However, we still went over budget because I signed Ivy up for swimming lessons, and that was not budgeted for, and it was like $365, I think, for where I could find a place to get in that was like a reputable place. Maybe I could have found something cheaper, but it is what it is. This place is easy for us, and like I would prefer that Ben does it rather than me because I'm just not in a place where I feel comfortable in a swimming suit. I'm also like not a very strong swimmer, so I don't know. All of that kind of freaks me out. I think he'll be better at it. He's like less anxious, that kind of thing. We did sign her up for that, which I'm excited about. I think that she'll like it, and it'll just make me feel better to know that if she's around water, which she'll never be around water by herself intentionally, but I just want to make sure that she's confident in the water because I never really was confident in the water growing up, and I just want her to be more confident. We spent about $26 on a fundraiser for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. They were doing like a suicide walk in memory of a friend of theirs. Something was off by $2.12 apparently, and then we spent $520 on an air doctor because again, with like the whole mold thing, all of the allergens that have been out lately, I've really been struggling with that. You can probably tell right now because I like am not breathing normally. Maybe you can't tell, but I can tell. And then last year we had a lot of trouble with, this is terrible for those in Canada, but the Canada wildfires like really affected our air quality here. The air quality here is just never 100% great because we're like near airports, there's a lot more pollution. So we just thought it would be a good thing to get, and they had a sale for Memorial Day. So we did end up getting that. So we spent $6,130.80 in variable expenses, which was way over budget. Okay, moving on to the last section. We went about $60 over budget on birthdays and holidays. We paid for a dinner for Elizabeth and her boyfriend for her birthday, and then Ben got me a couple of things for Mother's Day, so all of that stuff I put in there. So we did go a little bit over budget. And then as far as these two things, so I wasn't able to put much away in savings. I put $200 away in savings, but that's actually the $200 I got from the credit card that I told you guys about at the top. $659.96 is all that I had left over at the end of the month, which is great, but I needed to put about $840 away for taxes, so I'm short on that this month, which kind of sucks, but at least I was able to put away that, which is great. And then our Thrive market renewal came out this month, so we ended up spending $1,180 in this like miscellaneous savings holiday area. So in total, I zeroed out our budget because I pushed this money over to savings. So we spent all that we brought in this month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy seeing what we do with our money. Every month it's different. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.